All right. I'll zoom in a little bit to give you all. Okay, so the way it's going to show, don't necessarily worry too much of like because every answer you had, or most of the answers you have to type it in, right?
Right.
So
Word.
it's gonna show the answer choices that like if two people typed it in the same answer but slightly differently, it'll show two different answer choices.
Word.
Okay. So first off, number one, frame of reference refers to the experiences and beliefs. Yes.
True.
True.
I picked lowercase true.
Okay. You see what I mean? So many different answers. The environment often changes humans to meet their needs. What's wrong with that sentence?
Oh, humans often change the environment to meet their needs.
Yeah, humans often are the ones changing the environment. We're not, or the environment's not changing us. We're changing the environment.
I'm too gangster for that.
Okay. Generalizations are essentially true.
True.
Okay, so the illustration was a graph. Oh, that's not going to show us. Okay. We'll work on it. We'll take a look here. Okay. The illustration shown here is a graph. Okay.
You got that wrong.
All right, this is the one that got a lot of people. How many troops did Austria-Hungary have in August of 1419? So Austria-Hungary is
1914.
here. Or, yeah, 1914. Thank you. Austria-Hungary is here, and a lot of people went, oh, 500. And chose 500.
Oh, it says 1,000.
Well, why are there thousands there?
2 mil. For
That would mean 2 million.
See, that doesn't
1.5
make sense.
million.
That doesn't count, right?
1 million.
It should be like
So
500,000.
what is the zero?
0.
just 0 troops.
10 people.
All right. But if you take 500 times 1,000, you get
I mean,
More.
500,000. If you take 2,000 times 1,000, you get
2
2
million.
million. Right? So it's just a way of showing scale. Because if they had done 500 and this meant 2 million, you know how large the graph would have been?
But it should be.
Huge. Right? And you really just can't see, like, you can't make a graph that big. So they scale it down by putting in thousands over here.
But 500 is a lot of people.
But for the size of an army, is 500 soldiers a large army?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I mean, maybe in medieval times.
So many 500
Yeah.
people.
But August 1914, what war were we about to go into? Or what war was starting? World War I? World War I. Right?
The gangster war.
Okay, 500,000. Okay, what can you infer from this graph? The question is, what can you infer? Okay, this also caught a lot of people.
That Germany will beat Austria-Hungary.
Okay, well, the first question, the first answer choice is that Germany would defeat Austria-Hungary.
They
Yeah.
would.
Looking
They'll smack them.
at the key, Central Powers, Austria-Hungary and Germany, are they on the same side? Austria-Hungary and Germany are on the same side.
Think about it.
Okay, Allied powers.
They still could defeat them.
No,
I'm
Allied
just
powers,
correcting.
Russia, France, and others.
They
But
could.
there's a little asterisk here near
It could
others.
still defeat them though, like,
Did-
it's an,
How many of y'all
what
read the
if?
How many of y'all read the asterisks?
Others?
Yeah, the little asterisks here.
Yeah.
Kobe, Kale.
So,
Yeah. Although not yet involved
Oh,
in the
that-
war, American
I read
troops
that, I read that.
totaled about 119,000.
What if that really happened?
Okay, so let's take a look at the other answer choices. Austria-Hungary would start a war. Can you tell that from this graph?
No.
No. So that statement may be true,
Nah,
but we don't
but-
have that information. France and Russia were enemies.
Says they're out.
Yeah.
They're allied. They're on the same side, just like Germany and Austria-Hungary are on the same side. So the last one, that America would be an allied power. Others.
No, no.
American troops are a part of the others, part of the allies.
Oh, that's what
I still got a good grade.
Okay, location defined by referencing the equator, that is your
Latitude.
latitude.
Oh, my shoes got dirty.
Okay. What can we infer from this graph?
I don't know.
Wait, no.
Oh, can I answer?
Yeah, could be.
I picked D. Hold on. I picked D.
Yeah.
Last one, people from many countries have moved to the United States, that's correct.
Yeah.
Right? So this doesn't, we can't really tell, this graph doesn't tell us whether this is true. Okay? Immigration to the United States has increased over the past 50 years. This only gives us 30 years, and we can't compare it with something that was 50 years. Right? And then millions of people have immigrated to the United States. What if this was only like 20 people? And out of 20 people, 46% came from Mexico, Central and South America, 26%. So we don't know about millions either. Okay. But we can say that people from many different countries have moved to the United States. Okay. What was the percentage? I think everybody got this one, right?
8.
What was the percentage in 1990?
8.
8.
That was a gimme question.
Yeah. Okay. Made up in 2010.
Wait, what did you say?
What was the percentage of 13. Okay.
Well, I can't read this.
What statement about the U.S. population in 2010 is true? Okay, so we have 13% coming from that are immigrants of the U.S. population. Can we say that A is true? Most people who live in the United States are immigrants?
That's not true though. That's not true. Because it's 13%.
Yeah, 13%. So we can't. A cannot be true, right? Because it's only 13%.
I picked B.
B. More than 1 in 10 people who lived in the United States are immigrants. Can we say that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can say that. Let's take a look at the other ones. Almost half the people in the half of the people who live in the United States are immigrants. Can we say that?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
And then last one, a tiny percentage of people who live in the United States are immigrants. Can we say that?
Nah.
It depends on what your definition of tiny is, right? So that maybe, but is there a better answer there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 in 10, more than 1 in 10. Okay, referencing the prime meridian is
Longitude.
longitude. Yeah, I think everyone got this one right. It's economics.
Economics.
All right, it is a line graph. I do want to take a minute, take a look at this, this chart.
Support good.
Okay. So do we currently have a debate in this country about Confederate monuments?
I don't know what that is.
Monuments that are, they're statues
Oh, like
for
the thing.
Confederate soldiers.
Uh-huh.
Who is Jim from?
Okay,
Crow laws.
so I'm gonna turn the lights down. Okay,
Yeah, what's that?
so what's the most recent war that we've been in?
Against Iraq. Right?
Iraq and Afghanistan, right? So if we were to build monuments for the fallen soldiers of Iraq and Afghanistan, would you expect our society to build those monuments soon after those wars ended, or decades later?
Decades later.
Really?
Wait.
Or would it be, like, they're on our hearts and minds right now, right? Build the monuments now. Vietnam, the Vietnam War. Would we build a memorial to Vietnam War today, or would it be more likely that we would have already built it back in the 80s, 70s, or 80s?
Or, I just realized something, like maybe it could be a monument about the peace treaty.
Yeah, which would have been 70s or 80s, right?
Yeah.
So, Civil War, if a Confederate monument was built to remember the dead of the Civil War, would you expect that monument to be built in the immediate decades that followed the Civil War, or many decades later?
Immediate.
Immediate, right? So when did the Civil War end?
And what, like 2002?
1865.
Oh my God.
1865, that's when the Civil War ended. So, down here is 1864, 1867, 1870, 73, 76, 79, okay? We would expect to see if the motivation behind Confederate monuments was to honor the dead, we would expect to see those monuments built around that time, right? Because are the families of the dead alive around that time?
Yeah.
And would we like to have them at the dedication?
Yeah.
But we see